Double kettlebell snatch is one of the top 5 most effective kettlebell exercises. It is incomparable for power, coordination, and endurance. It tests and improves your active flexibility, activates your core, and works every single muscle in your body. It is also one of the most advanced and technical exercises you can do. So today I'll break it up into some simple components and show a straightforward line of progression. All double kettlebell exercises must be preceded by mastering their single kettlebell equivalent. So we will begin with one arm snatch. Basically, one arm snatch consists of a few components: the hip drive, the high pull, and the punch through to the overhead lockout. In the next few minutes, we will go over the prerequisites for learning the snatch and some drills for mastering it. Before you start learning the snatch, you must be competent in these exercises: one arm swing, Turkish get up, the clean, the press, the push press, and the reverse Turkish get up. The high pull. It is both a transition exercise for snatch and one of the most cardiovascularly challenging exercises that you can do with a kettlebell. In the high pull, you learn to lead with the hips, then pull with the arms. Or, as we say in kettlebell training, hips drive and arms guide. Notice that the hips finish driving first before the pull with the arm happens. If your hip drive is lacking, revisit your one-arm swing. So, by the time you start pulling the kettlebell back, it must be weightless. Notice that the recycle is always the same. Your shoulder is packed, your back is straight, your lats are engaged. Make sure that the free arm is never touching the body. Instead, it should be functionally engaged. From the front, you will notice that the kettlebell flies level with the head or a little bit higher. The working elbow stays high and the upper arm is parallel to the ground. Remember that by the time you're pulling with your arm, the kettlebell is weightless. Here is a great drill to practice your high pull. Perform one swing and one high pull combo for 30 seconds per side. Focus on identical hip drive, both in the swing and in the high pull. Here is a view from the side. Notice that the hip drive is the same for both moves. The main difference is that in the high pull, the kettlebell path is more vertical than in the swing, because as soon as your hips finish extending, you must pull the kettlebell up and back. The snatch happens when you punch the hand through the handle while the kettlebell is flying up. This makes the kettlebell rotate around your hand and land into a proper overhead lockout position. The more you practice the sequence of hips first, pull second, and punch through third, the smoother and less painful your snatch will be. It is imperative to keep your shoulders and back healthy by practicing a proper recycle or backswing. Here is a great drill to practice your snatch. You will combine one swing, one high pull, and one snatch. Practice for 30 seconds on each side. Try to emphasize hip drive during the swing, hips plus pull during the high pull, and then hips plus pull plus punch through during the snatch. This drill will help you practice the quality and timing of the 3 stages of the snatch. In addition to one-arm snatch, be competent in these moves before practicing the double snatch. Double swing and double clean. Notice the wider stance. And double press and double push press. These movements give you much less room for error, and they demand higher levels of thoracic and shoulder mobility. Same as for one-arm snatch, the best drill for double snatch is a double high pull. The main difference between them is that you take a wider stance. Don't underestimate this difference. Wider stance puts your hamstrings at a disadvantage, which means that you have to use your glutes much more. To master the high pull with double kettlebells, try the double swing and high pull drill, 30 seconds on, 60 seconds off for 3 to 5 rounds. And only now, finally, you are ready to learn the double snatch. By now, you have developed a powerful hip thrust at a wider stance. You have learned to coordinate a recycle with double kettlebells. And you have mastered the sequence of hips, pull, and punch through. Let's take a look at this movement from the side. Aside from the wider stance of the double snatch, there is also a difference in recycling the rep. Notice that even though the hips, the pull, and the punch through are the same, my recycling is different. I rack the kettlebells on my chest before back swinging. This is done in order to ensure shoulder safety. Double kettlebell snatch is extremely taxing on the rotator cuff. Racking it on the chest before recycling helps you lift heavier weights and keep your rotator cuff healthy. Double snatch does not forgive mistakes, so make sure you practice with lighter weights before progressing to the heavier ones. And it is worth repeating many times, especially with this exercise, to always return your kettlebells safely to the ground with a straight back. To perfect your double snatch, try this drill. Double swing, double high pull, and double snatch for 60 seconds on, 60 seconds off, 3 to 5 rounds. It's the same sequence as we did with a single kettlebell, but this will feel very different. I hope this video was as valuable for you as it was fun to make for me. Enjoy your kettlebell training!